Dear students, today we are going to study the subscription amount to be credited to Income and Expenditure Account from the given figures. So, the first item is subscription received during the year. That is 8,500. That is subscription actually received during the year, which we have taken from receipts and payments account. That is, on the receipt side of receipts and payments account, the total amount of subscription received during the year is 8,000. To this figure, we make these adjustments. And the first adjustment is subscription accrued on opening date. Subscription accrued on opening date means subscription due but not received during the closing date of the previous year. That amount has been received, it is assumed, because nothing has been stated about this. The total amount accrued on the opening date is received, that is 1,800 rupees has been received. But this 1,800 rupees does not belong to current year. Therefore, that much amount should be deducted from the total amount of subscription received. So this figure, that is accrued on the opening date, that is subscription accrued on the opening date, should be deducted from the total subscription received during the year, because the subscription received on opening date does not belong to current year, but it belongs to previous year. And the next is subscription accrued on closing date. Subscription accrued on closing date means subscription accrued but not received. That subscription accrued but not received during the closing date does belong to current year. Therefore, this 1,400 should be added to 8,500 rupees. So, total amount of subscription accrued during the closing date of the current year is 1,400. And the next adjustment is subscription received in advance on opening date. Subscription received in advance on the opening date means subscription received in advance on the closing date of the previous year. That received in advance on the closing date of the previous year means that much amount of subscription does not belong to the previous year but belongs to current year. Therefore, the opening balance of subscription received in advance is of current year. Therefore, that much amount, that is 1,200, should be added to. So, two items should be added. First one is subscription accrued on the closing date, and the subscription received in advance on opening date should be added to. And the subscription accrued on opening date should be deducted from. And the last one is subscription received in advance on closing date. Subscription received in advance on the closing date means subscription received during a year but does not belong to current year, that is, that belongs to coming years or future years. Therefore, from the total amount of subscription received, we have to deduct subscription received in advance on closing date, not on the opening date. Subscription received in advance on the closing date should be deducted. So, these 1,300 should be deducted. So, first amount to be deducted is subscription accrued on the opening date. Subscription accrued on the opening date means subscription accrued on the previous year, but the amount has been received during the current year. That amount so received does not belong to the current year. Therefore, that much amount should be deducted. And the subscription accrued on the closing date means subscription accrued of the current year. That amount should be added to subscription received, And the subscription received in advance on the opening date means subscription received in advance on the closing on the previous year, and that amount belongs to current year. And the subscription received in on the closing date means subscription received during the year, during the current year, but that does not belong to current year, that belongs to previous years, coming years. That much amount should be deducted. So first of all, we may write subscription received. Subscription received is 8,500. To that we add items to be added. First one is subscription accrued on closing date. Subscription accrued on closing date. That is 1,400. And the next item to be added is subscription received in advance. Subscription received in advance, that is opening date. That amount is 1,200. The total amount is 2,600. That is 11,100. And next items are, first one is subscription accrued on opening date. That is 1,800. Then the last one is subscription received in advance. Subscription received in advance on closing date. That is 1,300. It is 3,100. This is 8,000 is the amount of subscription. Amount to be credited to Income and Expenditure Account. So this 8,000 is the figure to be credited to Income and Expenditure Account as subscription. So total amount of subscription received during the year is 8,500. To that we add subscription accrued on the closing date. And next is subscription received in advance on the opening date should be added. To the total figure, we deduct subscription accrued on opening date. Subscription accrued on opening date is 1,800 should be deducted. And subscription received in advance on closing date, that is 1,300 should also be deducted. And the resultant figure 8,000 is the actual amount, is the income amount of subscription, not the receipt amount. Income amount of the subscription to be credited to Income and Expenditure Account. This is the way of calculating actual amount of subscription from the total amount received to the total amount to be credited to income and expenditure account. Thank you.